can go to VSP, and I'm going to open attendance. You can sign in now, and let's wait about a couple of minutes. Everyone will go to the class. From this week we have attendance. Don't forget to sign in VSP, and we can start. Okay, today's lecture about snow globe. Today we are going to create such effect with some objects inside of the snow globe, and I hope we will have time to set up a render and finish this task on this lecture. The deadline for this task will be 1st of February. Maybe maybe if we don't have time for render, we can discuss with Dana about the deadline. Maybe we can move the deadline to the 8th of February. But I hope we can finish this task today, and you will have a lot of you will have material to create such kind of work. On the previous year, we also made snow globe. This was my work, and here is the render sequence of this snow globe. I'm not render all of my sequence because I don't have a lot of time for render them out, but I'm showing the process from the beginning to the end, and you can also complete the steps which I'm showing during the class, and create your work. Okay, I have recorded lectures from the previous year. From the previous year, the lectures was in Russian. I can share these links with you in our Telegram group. You can go and also watch this. In the previous year, we don't have really much time for rendering, and that's why we complete snow globe with the render only on the 3rd lecture. But in this year, I hope we will meet our deadline, and everything will be fine. And also we have additional practice materials how to compose render sequence into the video. Your work should be completed. For example, we start with the modeling part, creating the scene. After that, we're creating effect. After that, we're creating some lights inside of this scene. Then we have step with the rendering sequence process, and after that you will compose into the video, and you will get such kind of result. Here you can find objects inside the scene, visual effect, lighting and texturing process, and also we have completed video at the end. And you should recreate something like this. Also, we have different examples from the previous year students' work, and now we are going to create something like this. You should also think about what you're going to create. You can be creative and make something with your sense of beauty and you can repeat my work, or you can create something with your objects, with your examples. Okay, let's start. Uh, for the beginning, we should find some objects for the snow globe. Where we can find this object? We can go to the several sites, such kind of Sketchfab. You can go to the Fab, or maybe type some 3D models, snow globe. You can go to the Sketchfab and search snow globe models. I also share this site with you in Telegram, or maybe in Teams. And also you can use this site to find reference for your work. Also, if you have opportunity to create your own 3D models, you can create it by yourself. You can use some low poly models, maybe some. You can combine different works. For example, you can download this snow globe and put different objects inside this snow globe. Also download it from somewhere. The task is create the really good final video. And also for the inspiration, you can go to the Pinterest. I have my board with VFX where I collected different kind of snow globe, and you can design it by yourself. Also combine some different references together, maybe get some inspiration for the light, for the objects. You can see there is really different kind of snow globe effects. And now we can create something by ourselves. First of all, let's download snow globe. Today I'm going to use for the downloadable objects. You can in Sketchfab you can switch on downloadable, and here you can find objects ready to download. Maybe we can use something in the previous year it was used with this model. You can also watch tutorial with this model from the previous year, and now maybe we can use something interesting and different. I like this model, but I didn't like the sphere. Maybe we can create a sphere by ourselves, but use model inside of this effect. When you use Maya, you should choose FBX format. FBX format, this is a common format, understandable by Blender, Maya, 3D Max, and other. This is a universal format you can use in your projects. And here we can also in Sketchfab you can inspect this model by wireframes and see the model and number of polygons of this model. Don't choose when the model inside is really have a lot of polygons, because every polygon and with the simulation will increase the power of your computer and not increase the usage of power of your computer. That's why look through numbers of polygons and triangles. It should be not much. For example, in the previous year we used this snow globe. In this snow globe, if we inspect this model through the wireframes, you can see there is a lot of polygons. And in previous year we reduce the number of these polygons by using some modeling tips. from Maya. Why some models have a lot of polygons? Because these models was scanned from the real object, and that's why some of them have really a lot of polygons. But someone, this is also cute. You can use something like this. This is really low poly model. You can use wireframes and see, but this is not really low poly, but looks like low poly. You can also use something like this. Okay, let's see our downloadable model and put this model inside of Maya. Let's unpack this zip file. Students who in the class, don't forget about attendance. Now it's opened in VSP, you can sign in. Don't forget about this. From this week we have attendance. Okay, let's go back to our model. Inside of the model we have VFX model and we have textures. We have a lot of textures here, and we can use these materials in our folder. Let's create a folder for this snow globe effect. Here I will collect materials for this work. Let's copy some source models and textures. Maya, inside of Maya, when we use textures, we store only link. That's why I'm collecting everything I'm using in the project into the one folder. It's easy to organize process. Okay, and also we can save this file into the same folder. Okay, we're ready to import model into the scene. You can use some file import and go to our folder and find some FBX model. And this FBX model puts into our outliner. Here we can find the snow globe, the base, and the objects inside the snow globe. Some of them is transparent because we have material with transparency. When we find attribute editor and go to this the last last attribute, you can change the transparency and see the shape. And also we have transparent material for the trees. In the trees we have also transparency. We should keep these materials. If you download model, it's already have some materials. We need to find necessary textures and put inside of materials. Reload these textures. Let's start with the base. We can open the color and name of this material globe base BC. Base color it means. Here you can find the way where these files is stored. And the Maya only keeps this link to the texture, and we can change this link for the material. Let's go to the snow globe, find T base T globe base BC. And if you want to see the textures inside of Maya, you should switch on this texture view. And now we can see the textures we already downloaded. And here we have some globe blend PC. We can also change the folder name for the textures. Let's go to the let's set the project into our folder. Let's set default workspace in our folder, and we can also go to the Windows rendering editor. In the hypershade we have all of these materials, and we can change the link to the textures, I guess. Here we can change the link where we can find some textures. We can use images, and we can use these textures. Select, accept, and now we can reload our textures. It's not working, unfortunately. And if it's not working, we need to do it by hands. Okay, let's open our folder and find our textures. Stepping PC. Globe PC. And also for the snow globe we don't need any material. We can use only materials for our snow globe. Globe blend BC. Some objects has different materials. You can see we have pine trunk, we have pine leaves, and we can also reload this. It really takes time if you have models with a lot of objects and materials, and you need to find every piece of material here. Some materials have transparency. Inside of this we can change the transparency. Fine leaves opacity. When you set default project, you can find also reference to the necessary folders, and it's a little bit easy to find textures. That's why I set up this default project. Okay, I think we can do another small changes here and continue work with the models. If you can find some material, here is already have material. Okay, maybe we have enough for the start. When you want to hide something, some object, you can select this object and press Ctrl H for the hide in Outliner. Outliner is a really needed instrument where you can reorganize your scene and change some objects. And also we need to use we can use these two objects and combine them together. Why I'm going to combine them? For example, when we want to create snow, and if we want to interact the snow with the objects, we should prepare these objects for interaction. And we can create one object from these two. This decrease quantity of our passive colliders. For example, if we have a lot of objects and apply the passive collider for them, we have a lot of interactions, and it will also cost time for the simulation. That's why you should prepare your scene for the simulation. And that's why we now we in the modeling step and preparing all of these objects for the simulation. I'm going to check textures. It's already assigned. Let's combine these two parts together into the one. When you use combine, we have this construction history. We should delete this construction history by using edit delete type by history. And this construction history was deleted. And now we have one object from these two. And other little small objects we are going to group together. Let's select all of these small groups. Inside of the snow globe we have some diorama. We can group this diorama together by pressing the Ctrl G. Instead of combining these objects into one, we use this group. This group, it's not one object inside. This is all of these objects is separated, and we can change textures from them, and we can hide this group now. for the beginning. Let's unhide this globe. I think we can change this globe because there is a lot of geometry here, and this geometry is really rough. We can model it by ourselves. Let's scale this sphere and put somewhere something like this. I will use this simple sphere for the glass material, for the glass of snow globe. Even we can scale it up and put somewhere here. Okay, and we can hide this sphere, and we can delete this not necessary one and work with this sphere. We should assign new material for this sphere, maybe something Lambert, and change the transparency. Now we have our new sphere here. Let's save our result, and now we're ready to create some effect in this snow globe. We are going to switch to the VFX folder and create some particles. Let's create some emitter. Now if we press play, we have some emitter inside of the mine. Now we can see these particles. We need to increase the number of frames into our sequence. Let's keep this maybe 400 and use all of this sequence to produce our simulation. Okay, inside of the emitter, do you remember the previous week lecture? We can change the emitter type. We can go to the emitter and find some volume emitter attributes. We can find some basic emitter attributes first and change this emitter type to the volume. And if it switched to the volume, let's go and change it to the sphere. Now this emitter, if we scale it up, have the same same size, maybe same shape as our snow globe. And we change, if we go back to the 0 frame and press play, now we have this small effect, snow effect. It's almost looks like a snow globe, but we don't have interactions with our objects. If we press play again, now it's look really cute now. Let's make some interactions with our main objects into this, in the scene. We can select sphere and create some passive collider here. Let's create passive collider. Now we have this passive collider, but if we press 4 on the keyboard in the wireframe mode, you can see the snow is not collided with the base, and we can create also collisions for our baseline and create enclosed passive collider. Now our snow objects can collide with this sphere. Let's go back for the 5 mode and see the result. Here we have pretty good result. The next step, we are going to change our collision for the particles. If you have a really gap between objects, you can change collision attributes for the particles. We can change, we can see collision thickness for this object. We can switch on self-collide, and colliders will be, particles also will be collided together. And now you can see this yellow light color, and you can change the collision width and scale for this file. For example, if you press 4 collision and switch off collision thickness, now you can see the gap between particles, and particles will not collect have gap between the ground and particles. It means you can modify this collision width, and you can even make it smaller. When it's smaller, you can see the less gap between them. Even you can do it like something like this. Now this gap is really small, and snow collects on the ground. The next what we are going to create, we are going to change some particles rate. For example, if you want to create really much snow inside, you can increase this particle rate. If you need to small number of particles inside, you can decrease this. And also we can change the particles shape. Let's go to the shading mode and change it to the spheres. And these small spheres can also can be changed. For example, now I see my particles is really small, even if I change the shape for the spheres. It's because we have a really huge snow globe, and we increase the emitter size scale. It almost 150. That's why we have really small particles. If you have snow globe, for example, little one by one, we need to decrease our particle shape, and these particles becomes big for this snow globe. And that's why you should understand the scale of your objects. You can even decrease the scale of all of these objects to minimum, or you can use the really huge scale and increase the particle size into this simulation. It depends maybe of what you prefer. Okay, let's increase the radius of particles. The attributes of our simulation for when you start to work is not the same for your project. If you use really huge objects, you should increase this particle radius. If you use small objects into the stand, you should decrease the radius. And the simulation and the attributes should be defined according to your situation. It never can be the same for the different projects. And if you understand the meaning of these attributes, you can make your own setup for the simulation. This is your work for this snow globe. This is the task to define your own setup for this snow globe effect, and create the really interesting simulation here, and make some effects for them. Also, next what we can change here, now snow starts from the zero particles, but we need particles here something like this to the beginning. If we want to change the initial state for these particles, you need to go to the fields and solver and find initial state here. And if your particle is already selected, you should press set for selected. And now if we go to the first frame and play now, our initial state becomes not from the 0 particles in the sand, but already snowy here. And also we can decrease the number of particles rate. Next, what we can change for these particles is inside of the emitter, or maybe in the particles, we have dynamic properties. Into the dynamic properties we have damp. Damp attribute, it's like we have in the atmosphere some obstacles, some viscosity here, and our particles becomes like in water or maybe in some materials. If you decrease this damp effect slowly, you can see it's a little bit moving. If you increase it more, the particles becomes really small because they have damp and need to prevent this damp through the particles. And you can play with these attributes and achieve some speed of your particles. I will decrease damp for this situation because I have a really huge snow globe, and if you have massive objects inside of Maya, also the speed of the simulation should be increased. If you have small object, for example, let's create the small one, assigned existing material with the Lambert with the transparency. Let's create another particles, and we can make some. What we can make? We can watch the difference between the size of the snow globe and how this size affect on the simulation. Okay, let's change it. Go to the emitter, change the volume shape to the not surface, sphere. Let's little bit. The sphere of the emitter should be less than your snow globe sphere, something like this. If it more than if it more than sphere, your particles will flow out from this sphere. And okay, let's create passive collider here, and now we can play. Here you can see the how fast these particles inside of the sphere, and you can see this gap between sphere and particles. You can also change the collisions into the collision attributes. Now it's better now. And here to decrease the emitter speed, you should go to the particles and dynamic properties and increase the damp. And here the damp is necessary. Now you can see this snow, really slow snow effect. But here we have a really big objects, that's why we need to increase some simulation attributes. And if you have a small snow globe setup, you should change the number of particles rate and change some attributes for them also. The same process of creation, but the size of the objects is really matter for this situation. And that's why we can now see the different results. If you want to quick simulation, you can resize your objects to the smaller one, and you don't need a really fast computer to simulate the small number of particles. But here we have a really huge object, we need more power to provide this simulation. I'm going to continue work with my size, but if you have different size of the object, you can use this setup for your situation. Let's delete the second one and continue work with this one. That's why when you work on your simulation, you should play with attributes according to your simulation, according to your stand, according to your sizes, and change these attributes. Now we learn how to change particle rate, how to set initial state for the particles, and start the simulations already with some particles. And we can change the number of particles inside of the simulation by using some lifespan. For example, particles can now live forever. If we have a really long animation, our particles becomes more and more and more, and we can change the liveness of these particles to the random range. For example, if random range from 1 to 0, it means our particles created and disappeared after 1 second or 2 seconds. If you increase this lifespan according to your animation, you can change the attitude of your particles here. Next, what we can change, we can add some fields for these particles. For example, if you select these particles, first select particles, after that you can apply some maybe turbulence field here. Turbulence, it means we have some small icon for this effect, and if we play, now you didn't see any changes. We should increase the magnitude of this field even more because we have a really big stand. And with the turbulence we can make some house here. We can change frequency. Or maybe we can change attenuation. Okay, let's see without turbulence field. I think it's almost the same. Maybe we can open new scene and understand how turbulence field is work. By the way, do you have any questions now while my opening? Everything is understandable for you?
Teacher,
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue. Let's understand how fields is work. Let's create some particles. Every time we use some emitter here. Now we have particles, and let's increase the field. And we can select particles and apply field on this. Let's use turbulence field. And if we play with attributes of the turbulence, it should be something like house here. For example, it's spread everywhere. And in the turbulence field, we can change the volume shape. We can create a sphere volume for this turbulence, and change maybe some frequency, phase, distance, and if we even increase magnitude, it should be more powerful, and create some house and spread these particles away. This is the turbulence field. Another field we can use in this simulation is volume axis field. For example, we have emitter. We can also change it to the sphere. We can select particles and go to field and solver and use some volume axis field. Volume axis field can be also not cube but sphere. The same sphere, maybe a little bit bigger, and we can spread away particles from the center now. Here we have different settings for this volume axis field. We can away from center. It means if we increase the power of this away from center, it's more like a fountain, something like this. Here we have a long axis. We can move it direction on the x-axis. And now it's like an explosion. We will use this during explosion effect. And also we can change the direction, for example. Around axis, a long axis. If we increase this direction, we can change it also. Around axis, it means we have, let's remove this axis. Remove a long axis, and now we have only a round axis. It means we have some turn around this axis. If we increase the power of this round axis, we can see this maybe some cycle around this axis. This volume axis also have some turbulence. It means it have some house, turbulence speed, and we can use this field to make some noise inside of snow globe effect by changing the magnitude also. Not really one. Okay, let's stop and start from the beginning. And by playing with these settings, we can change how fast the particles inside and how they will move inside of this sphere. And also here we can create some globe. Apply some material. Something like this. Add some collider. Oh, sorry. Passive collider. And now you can see how chaotic they moves in our snow globe. And also we can animate our attributes for the volume axis. You can animate with the magnitude or with the speed of these attributes. For example, let's create a set key here, and here can be some maximum magnitude, and this here some minimum magnitude, and this here result. Or maybe we can use not particles, but let's change the attribute to the turbulence field. And we can shake this snow globe by using this field. Now these particles are moving just, and we can use some magnitude here. Let's set key, and we can change magnitude to 1, change the frequency, and we can play. Maybe let's go back with the volume axis field. Let's make a long axis for to the up, and let's play. Now it's like they collected to the on above. Okay, and first it will be 0. Nothing is going to change. Set key, and after that we can suddenly move it up, and after that we can increase it to 0. And by using these settings you can create some animation for this snow globe effect, something like this, and move up. It's like shaky, some snow globe effect. You can use it or you can not use. It depends on your simulation and how you want to create the animation for the snow globe. I will not use in this situation because I need a slow snow effect inside of this snow globe, but you can possibly use some fields inside of this, like a snow, like a wind, like a shaky particles. Okay, when you finished with this snow globe effect, you can change and start work with textures and shaders. For the good render, you need to create some shaders here. For example, for achieving some kind of result with the glass effect, you need to use Maya Arnold render and Maya Arnold materials. Now we can move to the second part of this lecture and set up the quality of our settings. Let's see this file and close, and let's set up the quality of this work. First, we need to create a new material for this sphere and use some new material and go to the Arnold render material. We can use IE standard surface. If you don't see any Arnold settings, go to the Windows plugin manager and check M2A plugin. If you don't have M2A plugin, you should download this and set up as additional plugin. M2A, it means Maya to Arnold. It should be loaded and after loaded. If you have this, you can just switch on this M2A and you will see Arnold render materials and Arnold render settings. You can go to the settings here and find from render using Arnold render. And now we can use this Arnold render to creating our shaders and lightings and render. Let's assign new material Arnold render surface, and here in the settings preferences you can go and apply some glass. We need to replace every settings from this glass shader. And now we have glass material. To see the result of the render, you should open the render view. We have Arnold render view. We can stop this rendering. And now we didn't see anything because we don't have any light inside of the stand. We can go to the Arnold shelf and create a sky dome light. If you don't have this Arnold render shelf, you can go to the rendering and Arnold, and here you can find all lights, shaders, and setup for good rendering process. We will use sky dome light for the initial lighting. Let's open again this Arnold render view and set play. Now we can see something is happening. This is a rendering process. Rendering takes a really lot of time to render your sequence. Here we can see the basic light, and now you can see this glass effect here. We can change inside of this glass effect, go to the IE standard surface, and we have AOR. If you change this AOR, in the previous year there was used different settings for this index of reflection. Here is a big AOR, here is a small AOR. Without any distortion, and you can use and you can use and change this AOR for any kind of index of distortions. Maybe we can use maybe something like this, and you can render out and see the result. This one is, I think, is better. Next step, we should change our shaders for material for objects we already downloaded. Here we have some default Maya shaders, and it's using Fong. That's why we have not colored one, because the Fong materials is really have some specular effect, really blicky and specular, and we can change it. We can also change it to the IE standard surface, and if we play it, the texture was removed. We can open the color and assign a new texture here. Go to the textures and use our base. Where is the base? Oh, here, globe base. Sometimes when you download models, some of them have a really lot of materials here. You can find some normal map, you can find some metallic, roughness, and base color. You can use only base color for your textures. And if you use colored one, now we can see our base. When we select objects and go to our IE standard surface, you can rename this material to the base. And also we have a hypershade. In the hypershade we have all used materials in our project, and through this hypershade you can switch between materials and change the settings of these materials. You can see this material viewer and also manage your materials here also. We can even use bigger one. It's like outliner for the materials. Or you can find the object and use attribute editor to find materials. Materials is something like this. Here we have base already changed. We use some color for this globe, and also we can make some preset here. Maybe find some plastic or wood, and we can use this preset. I think plastic it's not help. We can go and change maybe some diffuse roughness. If we increase this diffuse roughness, it can be more blicky. Here also we can increase metalliness, and now you can see this blicky effect. And also if you have to create a really good base color basement, you can continue do some settings for this shader. Okay, let's go to our group here. I think we need also for the big objects you can add uh, passive collider if it's necessary. For the small objects you can skip this passive collider, but I think for this one we can add some passive collider. And the snow will become collected on this roof. We should change the materials also for this base, and you can use some Lambert material instead of using AI standard surface material. This Lambert materials, it means we have color, but we don't have bleak inside of this material. The funk is really bleaky material, and we should change every material here. Here we have some roof, and also we can change the roof to the Lambert. And one by one you can increase the quality of your rendering. Next I'm going to increase these pine trees, and let's change it also to the Lambert. Leaves we also switch to the Lambert with the transparency. And let's play how it looks. Don't forget to stop the render because when you change, it's immediately render them out. And if you press play render, there's a really freezy Maya, and it's difficult to work. That's why I'm every time press stop during the rendering settings. Next, I'm going to change leaves. This is the leaves. We need to change leaves to the standard surface. And let's set up these leaves. We need to use some transparency here, and this transparency should be understood by Arnold render. If you don't have transparency, it's really cool. You don't need to think about how to set up transparent material here and cut out them. Okay, let's go back and change some settings. Here we have geometry, and here we have opacity. Into the opacity we need to add our transparency cutout. Let's go and find leaves. I think this is opacity. Let's check. Now it's work. It's like trees with with better leaves. Okay, let's move to the settings of environment. I'm not changing all of these materials. Maybe later I will fix them, but it really takes a lot of time. I think you understand the basics and you will continue do it by yourself for every material here. Let's change our environment. Now, when we use just sky dome light, we have this white material around. We can create the studio for lighting this scene. If we go to the Pinterest, you can see we have some really good backgrounds, like in this snow globe in the studio. Here we have some shadows. If we look around, we have really nice smooth background. Even here you can see this smooth shading around this snow globe. Sorry, it's noisy. And we can create the same. We should create the background for this simulation. Let's create plane and increase the size of this plane. Next, I'm going to bend this plane like in the studio. For example, if we can see photo studio, in the photo studio we have this bent background without any sharpened edges. It's like a arc here. And we can create the same in Maya for the background. We created already this plane, and we can go to the modeling and use some deformers for this. We will use non-linear deformer bend. And here we have some curvature. We need to change position of this bend handle and rotate this on the maybe on the 90-degree here, and also check this curvature again. 90-degree, check this curvature, maybe 90-degree here. Now it's worked, it's bending. If you understand how it works, you can play with these rotations and of the bend and bend them. Here we have low bend. We can move it like this. We should create something like this. Okay, we can move plane and go to the bend handle and change the curvature. We need to create this font with a smooth gradient. When you finished, you can edit delete type by history, and this bend was go away. And you can move this. Now you can move and scale this plane after removing the bend. And you can also rotate them whenever you want. Find the good looking view and set your environment around this view. I think this view is good because we can see the scene. And if you like this view, you can make some bookmark for this view. Create new bookmark. Go to the view, bookmarks, and edit bookmark, add new bookmark. And now you can switch between these bookmark views. For example, if you work with the camera, rotate them, and you can go back and to your selected view. and render this from the selected view and set your scene around this view. Let's set the plane, move it carefully around your object. I have a really big scene and I need to increase this sky dome light more, something like this. Now we have set up for my view. Go to my bookmark. I think we can rotate even more. We can even scale them and go to this bookmark. Let's check result in the render view. Now we can see these small shadows because now we have the plane and the shadows cast on this plane. Next, we are going to attach some light sources. For example, on the previous year, we used some different area light to make some scene more cute. Here, here you can see these speculars here from area lights around this object. And now we can see different kinds of colors around this object. And we can use another lights to create these directions around this object. We can go to the Arnold and create some area light. By using this area light, we can increase the scale of this light, and let's check in the render how it looks. Now we didn't see anything. Because we have sky dome light, we can hide this now and see result, and start with the settings of this area light. We can move it something like this. First, we need to change in this area light exposure. If we have a really big scene, you need to increase your lights too. If you have a small scene, you don't need to increase this exposure. Okay, I didn't see anything. Maybe we should also increase the intensity of this light. Now we can see this small light here. If we have a small scene, you didn't use this much exposure. You can use the smaller one. Okay, let's move it. Something like this. And let's see. Now we can see this little snow globe here. We can increase the exposure even more to see the result. Because my scene is really big, I can play with these parameters to achieve result by playing with this exposure. Another visibility, you can increase the camera inside visibility. This attribute is already also powerful to provide this bleak on your glass material. Okay, next, what we can change? We can change the usage color temperature. If you go to this small parameters, it can be warm. If you go to the higher parameters, it can be cold. You can use some in-betweens. And you can use a cold light and a warm light. For example, on the left you can use warm light, on the right you can use cold light. Also, we have already cast shadows and cast volumetric shadows. You can change it. It's already set up, and you can use default values. What we change? We change the intensity, exposure, temperature, and visibility on the camera. Okay, what else? We can unhide our sky dome light and use both lights in the scene. And now we can see more accurate details and more good looking now instead of our first setup. Let's stop this render. Let's save Maya. And I'm going to go to my bookmark and again play. Now we can see this light because we have camera visibility. We can move this light away from camera. We shouldn't see this light through this camera view. And next I'm going to create another light from different side. Why I'm creating the many light sources in this scene? It's because I want to achieve more cinematic look in this slow globe. It's like a subject photography, and you can use some different light sources to provide the quality of your image. And you can use some light setup, something like photo studio light setup. The same we can work in the Maya. We can create the same amount of lighting. Here we have basic main light, we have fill light. It's more like shade to smooth shading of your object. We have control light and also we have backlight. Backlight it's need like rim light behind of the scene. Here we have background light. Background light it's like our sky dome light. It fills everything. And we have fill light and K light. K light makes more dramatic on your object. Feel like it's smooth shading of your person or snow globe. And also you can use the same light setup and light rules like in the real world. Okay, let's create the second light. My second area light. Go to the camera view. Will be maybe with the cold temperature. And now you can see this nice reflections, nice colors, nice background. And you can play with these parameters of light and change maybe sky dome light. If you decrease the intensity, the fill light will be more. You even can switch off your sky dome light. Here we have also intensity and exposure. Exposure, it means we have multiple exposure multiplied intensity into the quality of the light. If you have intensity 1 with exposure, we have even brighter ambient light. When we use sky dome light. Ambient light, it means like our atmosphere here. And I think I want to decrease this one. For me, it's nice looking image now. I'm on this stage of settings of the light and shading. When you finished with these settings, you can change the quality of the render. Sometimes in Maya we have this noise effect and grains, and if you increase the samples of render in the Arnold render, camera samples or diffuse samples, you will earn more quality, but the render time takes a really long time. For example, one frame can be rendered about 15 minutes. Now we have in our simulation almost 400 frames. That's why you should find the cheaper render settings to render entire sequence, but with a good quality. It's like a balance. You should find this balance, and we are finding this balance during this sample renders in the Arnold render view. The next step, I think we can increase our particles. Now our particles is really small and not looking. We can change the particle size in the shading to the spheres. We can increase the size maybe, or we can attach to these particles material. We can select these particles. Let's stop this frame. And assign new material for the particles. We can use some Lambert for the particles. We can change the color to the white, and let's open this color and change the vibrance of this color to the 2. Now you can see we can make some snapshot for this from this and change. Now we can see these particles are more brighter and like they have some emission. This vibrance V on the color means we increase this vibrance of this white color. Even you can change the color of these particles to the yellow. Now you can see this yellow color, but don't forget about this vibrance. If you didn't see your particles on the render, you can change this V color and your particles become more brighter. Even you use white color, you should also increase this V. Okay, what next we can improve in this scene? We have these small lanterns here, and also we can use some emissions in this lantern. We can change to the standard surface now, change the color for the lantern, find some textures here. I guess in the lantern we have some basic color and we have some emission. If you have this emission, we can use base color for the color, and in the standard surface we have some emission folder. In this emission we can use this color map from the emission. But if you don't have emission, you can skip this step. But sometimes some materials have some emission, and we can use them in the standard surface. Here we have yeah, it means emission. And on the rendering we can see how it shiny. If you want to increase this emission, you should increase the weight of this material. And now Okay, let's play. It becomes more brighter. Now it's like shiny and like we have light inside of this material. We have two lanterns here, and both of them, if they have same material, they will have these settings. Okay, and on the snow globe blend, we have snow globe blend. We should change it to the Lambert. Lambert without any kind of blicks, and now it can be white. It's much better. Okay, let's see the result. And also we can use some point light here. We can, if we have some lanterns, we can put light source from the rendering folder. We have some point light, and we can put this point light into this lantern. Maybe somewhere near this lantern, and we can increase this intensity to see result. If you don't see result, we can hide our other light sources and check and change this intensity. Maybe to the 100. This light is not from an Arnold render, and that's why you can change the intensity even more. And also for the intensity, you should also play with the parameters. If you have a small scene, you need to make some less parameters. And also you can go and take some color from your lantern. And okay, let's see again. Let's go to our bookmark. We can duplicate this light near our second lantern. It feels like more cozy now, and also we should unhide with the Shift H of our lightings. And now we have something like this with a cozy light. Maybe we can change some position. It's difficult to change our position because we have already set up the light and set up our background. When we finished with our lighting setup, now we're ready for our rendering process. We need to render the sequence. From the previous year, you can see these small frames, and if we play it, our snow is moves. And we need to render our sequence and create the video from our snow globe effect. Let's save our scene and go to the rendering process, and we need to render our sequence. Here we have render sequence. But before we render our sequence, let's open our rendering settings. In the rendering settings, we have common settings. First of all, we need to change image format to the JPEG. All of our images will be JPEG. Second, we need to frame animation extension. We should change it name frame extension. It means number of frames. Frame padding, I think, will be 1. We need to frame by frame render. Let's set the frame padding to the default, and of our frame will be maybe if we have animation 400 frames, we can render them all. And also renderable camera will be our perspective, but don't forget, before render, set your view to the camera view and save. Preset, we will have HD format. We have 3 HD resolutions, and you can use HD 540, or you can use HD 712. The more resolution you will choose, the more time you will get for the render. For example, if you have less size of the image, the render will be faster than when you choose HD more quality. If you have a lot of time, if you need to create a portfolio from your works, you should increase your resolution and use high quality size of the image. But now, for faster result, I will use HD 540. And this is the width and height of this, and also let's go and keep the settings the same. And now we're ready for the rendering sequence. Let's save and go to this render sequence. Current camera perspective, and here we have our output direction. But before, I forgot some necessary step. We should name our prefix of the file. Snow globe, maybe, or maybe snow. It depends on you prefer. And outstanding location. You can render on the your computer. You can render on the desktop, but in the if you want to render better without any mistakes, make sure you have username with the English language. The reason, if you have some Russian here, or if you have some symbols, you can't find the render. If you have some Russian name of your computer, you should create the folder on the disk C and render directly with this location. Every time create the folder for the rendering. If you don't create the folder, you have 40 400 frames on your desktop or anywhere. It's difficult. You should render into your new folder and click select. Okay, when you finished, you can render and close. Now it takes a lot of time for rendering. Let's wait only 1 frame or 2 frames to see results. I didn't see my particles. Maybe on the 2nd frame it will be. Okay, let's open a new folder for the rendering. And here we will find result of the rendering. For submitting your work, you will submit video from this sequence. How to create video from this sequence? You can use the practice from the Dmitry. He will show you how to use some simple FFmpeg program to collect sequence into the video, or you can use video from sequence, from image sequence. You can use some AI tool to creating image to the video, to collect sequence to the video. Or you can use some After Effects for them. But something strange with my particles, I think. Where is my particles? If you want to stop your rendering, select Maya and press Escape on the keyboard, and the rendering will stop. I think I should change the particles initial state. Set for selected and maybe go back. And we can restart our render. The same folder, let's change. Check several frames before render, and if something wrong on this step, it's better to prevent and restart the render. Okay, while rendering, do you have any questions?
Teacher, I have one. I was 5 minutes late. Was there any attendance? I was late due to connection.
Yes, it was attendance in journal. I can only for the first lecture. For the second lecture, I will duplicate this attendance. Please say your surname.
by Nazarov.
Can you mark me too?
Yes,
И чё,
which
мне тоже?
Сабирова Алина.
Сабирова Алина сейчас.
И
Sorry, teacher, can you attend me to
Танкисов Тилер.
Turgildiv Nursultan?
One by one. Who's Nursultan? Which?
Танкисов.
Please tell one by one. First, Nursultan, which is your surname?
Turgildiv Nursultan. I have problem with fluorography.
Okay. Second,
Танкисов Тилер.
second. Next. Всех отметила? Кого-нибудь еще отметить? Так. Девушка еще говорила, я не услышала, кто говорил. Все остальные отметились, да?
Это отметка, которую вы на первую, ну, в самом начале давали? Или
Да, в
уже...
самом начале.
Окей.
Только в самом начале я просто продублирую на вторую лекцию.
Можно спросить? Вот один вопросик есть.
Мгм.
Вот сейчас я включу камеру. Ой, камеру сказал. Этот экран видите, да?
Да, вижу.
Сейчас. Ну, это так, неплохо видно, но не в этом суть. Здесь я хотел color сделать, но почему-то у меня не включается. Как это сделать? Это per particle attitude.
Вы хотите цвет партиклов, да, назначить?
Да, у меня вот сейчас emitter, textures. Они вот в таком плане. Текстура.
Вы урок делаете, да, вот по этим партиклам, и он не включается, да, типа?
Ага. Не то что урок, это типа домашки. Я хотел сделать шарик с вращающейся вселенной, с галактикой такой.
Так, сейчас там надо, да, надо добавить атрибут, но они, если, надо General сначала открыть, потом Color. General, per particle color, где-то там надо найти.
Particle color?
Да, что-то касающееся, я уже не помню, как было.
Collision.
С цветом партиклов все немного сложно. Если вы хотите прям inherit texture, там был урок, как это включается, я сейчас так не вспомню. Надо на ютубчике посмотреть, кажется.
Хорошо, ладно, с текстурами чуть позже. Теперь у меня вот один... Я только что пытался сделать этот... Сейчас. Это я спущу. Так, Turbulence, да, сперва нужно включить, а потом на него же повесить Vortex, чтобы он вращался, да?
Да,
Но...
сначала партиклы вы выбираете, потом включаете этот.
Ну, я вот вначале, когда вы это показали, я сразу сделал, у меня заработало. Потом я решил удалить, чтобы текстуры поставить, а у меня теперь они не работают нормально. Так. Просто, если я сам Vortex поставлю, тоже ничего не меняется. Он наоборот просто в какую-то сторону уводит все эти частицы.
Ну, с филдами тоже сложно. Каждый раз надо выделять партиклы, потом на них назначать филды. Можно несколько филдов на одни и те же партиклы.
Как один из вариантов это можно решить? Здесь типа выбрать цилиндр, что ли?
Вы хотите, чтобы они вращались, да, получается?
Да, просто...
Volume Axis можете взять. И вот по кругу, как я показывала. Volume Axis around...
Сейчас. Volume Axis.
Сфера. Сферу тоже можно взять, не куб. Да, и есть Round Axis. Там значение больше даете, и он будет вращаться. Если отрицательное значение против часовой стрелки, там стрелка вот эта рисует. И
Ну, как-то слабовато. Ладно, сейчас посмотрим.
Ну, лучше поискать прям туториалы, потому что там столько параметров, которые могут влиять. Сейчас прям сложно так вспомнить.
Так, центр.
Так. Okay, let's go back to our lecture. Вы можете на практике еще спросить у, получается, у Даны. Может, она тоже поможет.
Все окей.
Okay, let's go back to our lecture. Now we have rendering of our particles, and now we can see these particles, and if we render entire animation, we will see our dynamics here. I think we've done for today. Now we can see this simulation of particles. And we should wait to the end of this rendering. Before the rendering, please save your file and don't forget to save. Now I will stop this render and save. Maybe tomorrow I will render my sequence and send you a result as video. Also, in Teams we will create some assignment, and you should put your entire folder of the project. For example, I've created the folder for the snow globe, and you should zip this folder and attach to assignment and attach your final video result as I show you like this final video. If you don't have a final video, for example, if you can't render them out, you can attach only your effect, and you can as video you can record your simulation from the Maya. You can screen record your simulation. But we should see not only Maya file into the assignment, but also video preview of your work. Final render view or your screen recording from Maya. Okay, thank you for your attention. I think we can stop now.
I have a question, teacher.
Спасибо за